Good morning, Unity North, and welcome to our Sunday service. We're delighted that you are here today, and we want to welcome you. Come on by, Larry. I'm just talking to the people on the computer. We're delighted. This is Larry, everyone. Larry is a shining light, and so are you. So we welcome your light into our space today. As you can hear, the band has already kicked in. We've got a great topic today, dealing with the uncertainty of the unknown. The world as we know it today is in a place of not quite understanding this mystery that is up. There's a bit of trepidation about where we're going, what's going to be next. It's a good place. It's a place of creation. And so we welcome you into that creation today as we welcome you into our hearts. Thanks so much for joining us. We're going to get started in just a few moments. We're delighted that you're here.
Looks like you're talking to a ghost.
little jazz concert. You get some good music. You get a good talk. Welcome to Unity North. My name is Rappin, and we're so glad that you're here on this finally beautiful fall day. We've come out of the clouds, so we are just happy that you decided to share your Sunday morning with us. We're going to start in song, as we usually do, and we're going to remember that God is the source of everything. So whatever's going on in our outside world, we can lay that down outside and pick it up if we want, but in here, on your feet, God is our source. We know that everything is good because it comes from that place. So we're going to put our hands together if we want. Here we go. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything How about peace? Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything. How about some joy in the house? Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. How about take that love, take that peace, take that joy, and turn to your left or right and greet your neighbor with a warm handshake or hug. All right, come on back. Let's start with love. Love is my source. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything. God is my source. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything. God gives me everything. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. And so it is. Put your hands together and have a seat.
Good morning, Unity North. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. I am Sharon Summers, prayer chaplain. With me is Virginia Moore, and Lorelei Robbins is also a prayer chaplain for the day. We will be after service in the front of the sanctuary. Anyone who would choose to need a prayer, we would be privileged to pray with you. The prayer box is kept at the back of the sanctuary on your left as you come in, and those prayers are prayed on not only here. We hold them in sacred space and are prayed over again by the prayer chaplains prior to going to Unity, Silent Unity, and there they are prayed over for another 30 days. And now, if you will take a deep breath and close your outer eyes and center in the present now. Breathe in the presence of the one life, the one power, infinite intelligence, and the source and substance of all life. We are grateful for this day. We are grateful for the beauty that is being played out in our physical world, and for every soul who has chosen to be physically present and contribute to the group consciousness as we join with others in churches and synagogues, cathedrals, temples across the world, as we are raising the consciousness and energy of Mother Earth. We bless those who minister to us today, and we ask that they be inspired, that they may inspire us to go from here today to be a force of love in the world with everyone that we come in contact. And now we focus on our prayer box. Please join me in covering with the prayers with love, energy, and with the intention of the highest and best good. It is in the allness and wholeness, this unconditional love that is the very foundation of creation, that we surround each person represented herein. And so we trust the divine intelligence that dwells in each situation, each conflict, and know that all answers are in this field of infinite possibilities, and in the mind of God, it is done. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you so much, Sharon. Nice to have your consciousness in the room, your light in the room, and it's nice to have the light of everybody who's chosen to be here today. Welcome to Unity North. We want to welcome anybody who's here for the very first time today, and we want you to know that whoever you are, and wherever you may be on your spiritual path, you are welcome here. But more importantly, you are welcome here in our hearts, because we behold you as the light of the world that you are, and we're grateful that you have brought that light into this space today. The ushers are right here in front, and they have a flower. That flower is a symbol that we're all on a path of blooming, of blossoming and becoming. And what's wonderful in this human garden, we're all doing it together, hand in hand, heart to heart, spirit to spirit. Attached to that flower is a little bit of information about Unity North, and we want to get it into your hands. And so we're not going to make you sing or dance or anything. We're just going to ask, if you are here for the first time, to put your hand up really high so the ushers can find you, and the rest of us are going to give you a rousing round of applause. Who's here for the very first time this morning? Welcome. Oh, come on, Unity North. I said rousing. They're coming, I promise. Welcome to our home, welcome to our family, welcome to our community, and most especially, welcome to our hearts. If you have any questions about what happens here today, the New Beginnings team would love to answer those questions, help you feel a little bit more welcome at the kiosk right in the back of the room. Once again, thanks for bringing your light into this space today. We're delighted that you are here. And we're delighted that Diane Glenn is back. We've missed her for the last couple of weeks, and we were joking with Diane. It's amazing when you get a little time off. Her smile was just a little bit wider than when she left. It's amazing how that works.
A little more rested than when I left here, I'll have to say. Thank you, Richard. I'm going to invite, my first announcement is actually Vilma is going to be speaking about Flamenco Night.
Thank you, Diana. Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Great. See, we have this energy, this beautiful thing to celebrate and work in this beautiful event that we are have in November the 2nd, Saturday, 7 o'clock, and this is the Flamenco Night. Do you know how to do the hands? Very easy. Up over there, and with a little one, see? See? That is the most easy do it. So we are going to have fun, we are going to dance, and we really appreciate your help. We have 8 baskets and 7 or 8 certificates, great certificates for the magnificent people working here. Reverend Richard, Hughes, the Dr. Hughes, Johnny Scott, Laureen, Linda Minnick, and many others. We really appreciate, because we receive this support and this love for this spiritual center that is amazing, and it's our house. So please, the baskets are out there. So after the service, we really appreciate to go and check each basket and put or make your bids. This is the most important thing for the silence night. And the night, the tickets is on sale, $35 per person, $60 for a couple. And we are going to have fun, dance, show, crazy hour, like celebrating the New Year Eve with many things. And we are going to dance. So thank you for your support, for your love, because we do this together. It's not individual. everything successful in unity is working in community together. So thank you so much, and see you everybody in November the 2nd and after the service over there to put your beads. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Vilma. About 2 minutes before the service started, she said, "Do you think we can ask the band for some music?" I said, "Well, I think it's a little too late, but there they are." Thank you, guys. Can I have the next slide? Holistic Wellness Fair, that's going on downstairs. So downstairs, if you haven't been down there yet, if you weren't here yesterday and haven't been down there today, please go downstairs. Nancy Daniel does this twice a year. It's a wonderful, wonderful wellness fair with practitioners and vendors and lots of things going on. So please go downstairs and spend some time with our vendors and practitioners downstairs. The next slide is our business directory. On the Unity North table downstairs, you'll find applications for our business directory. I think you can also find them online. If you are an entrepreneur or if you have a business and you would like to connect with the people at Unity North and probably with the people outside of Unity North once this directory is shared, please go downstairs to get an application, sign up. The deadline is the 1st of November so that we will have it ready for our holiday bazaar, which will be in December. So please go downstairs and find out more information about that. And then Unity Basics, that's our membership class. Several people have been asking about when is our next membership class, and it is going to be next Saturday. It's a one-day class with Reverend Richard where he goes over the Unity Basics with you, gives you information about the history of Unity, what's going on at Unity North, and our leadership team and what our staff does here. So if you're interested in becoming a member of Unity North, and that membership will give you the opportunity to vote in our elections, and it also gives you some discounts on tickets if you want to volunteer, and certain ministries you do need to be a member for. So if you want more information, please call our office this week, and then the class is next Saturday at 10 o'clock. So hopefully you can join us for that. And then I think this is our last one. SEE class, the next SEE class is meditation practices, and that starts on the 5th of November. It'll be downstairs in the joy room, and it will also be on Zoom. We're doing a lot of classes by Zoom, and we're going to start hopefully pushing some of those classes out, the Zoom classes out to the public so we can get more people to participate in what we know are wonderful courses that we offer here at Unity North. And that's it. The last thing I just want to tell everyone is that if you're interested in visiting our wholeness ministry today, they will be here in the sanctuary at 1 o'clock. So thank you, everyone.
That's wholeness, not homeless.
I said homeless? No, wholeness. Our healing ministry.
I was like, we're doing an outreach I don't know about. We are going to be doing outreach for the homeless, and you'll hear more about that later and how you can participate. So I am so excited to introduce our featured musician today. You know her and you love her. She is your worship leader when I am gone, and she has the epitome of a heart of service. And this is her first time sharing as the featured music, and it is just such an honor to get to witness people's journeys and how they rise to their next level. So I know you guys are going to love her up as I do, so will you please welcome Danielle Wright.
She awoke to the sound of thunder, barely the will to rise. She walked her house and wondered what was the reason why. Deep down she was so lost and forgotten. She couldn't face the sadness that she wore. Then she heard a voice, it never made a sound, saying it's gonna be alright. I've got you now. Trust in the power of love. It'll be there to guide you. Trust in the power of love. It's alive and inside you. Listen to the voice. You always have the choice to trust in the power to trust in the power of love. All you have to do is believe. Open up your heart and be free to believe and trust in the power of love. It'll be there to guide you. Trust in the power of love. It's alive and inside you. Listen to the voice. You always have the choice to trust in the power of love. Trust in the power of love. It'll be there to guide you. Trust in the power of love. It's alive and inside you. Oh, listen to the voice. You always have the choice to trust in the power of love. Listen to the voice. You always have the choice to trust in the power of love.
And I forgot to mention that Will Hodge and Danielle co-wrote that. So trust in the power of love. Thank you, Danielle.
Danielle, I'm so proud of you. And that was such a beautiful song. Thanks to you and Will for writing such an amazing song. Thanks for singing it so well. We're going to have just a moment. I'll pause. Let me ask a question of all you gathered here today. Do you really trust in the love that is expressing at the point of view? That no matter what's going on in this outer world, no matter what's happening in this world, that you trust in the power of that love to have its way with you? Try to control your excitement there. Do you trust in love? I think so. Do you really believe in love? I'll get back to you on that. I want to talk a little bit about that today. As many of you know, I absolutely love nature. I am a nature junkie. I'm earth-based in my spirituality. I'm earth-based in my whole life. And I love to go out in Mother Nature, walk the forests, get my hands dirty. And I have had a bird feeder in my backyard forever and ever because I just love, love, love the birds. I quit having a bird feeder a year ago because I was feeding the squirrels. The squirrels were getting fatter and fatter and fatter in my yard. And the birds I began to notice something about the birds. I'd look out at my bird feeder from my dining room window to enjoy that, and there was a deep sense of anxiety. The birds were consumed with a sense of lack and fear as they were gathering around my feeder, much more scary looking than those birds there. But there was a consternation that existed at the bird feeder of, when is the bigger bird going to come and take my food away? When is there not going to be enough? I better get everything I can right now as I'm putting my beak into this feeder because it might not be here tomorrow. There was a deep sense of the unknown, a deep sense of scarcity, a deep sense of fear that was rampant at the bird feeder. And these beautiful creatures that would fly from one end of my yard to the other looking very happy suddenly lost all their happiness as they landed at the bird feeder. And what I noticed is that they were trying to take all the food they could possibly get into their beak, and then they'd look to see something that would startle them and scare them, and all the food would drop out of their mouths. The squirrels were very, very happy about this. But the reality is they weren't getting the nutrition that they needed because they were consumed by the fear of the unknown. Now, it's one thing to see it at a bird feeder. It's another to see it on the face of the human race. And I'm just going to call it out because I believe in calling out what's in the field. There is a deep fear of the unknown rampant in our field today. And not one of us is separate from that idea. We're existing together as one being and one energy. At the subconscious mind is a fear and an uncertainty about what's going to happen tomorrow. And a lot of us are dropping a heck of a lot of food because we're worried that it might not be here tomorrow. You know, there's a shift happening in this planet. Have you noticed that? There's something moving and stirring, and change is in the air. And there's two ways that we can deal with shift. Number one is with the courage and the strength and the conviction of a spiritual idea and a spiritual mindset that says, oh, something good is happening. We're moving to the next level. A birthing is happening, and the next paradigm of existence is about to be birthed. Very few people live like that. More people are living like the birds at the feeder. Pull in, pull back, retreat, get mine, take mine, because I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. And so a sense of trepidation about the future is rampant in the minds of the subconscious mind of the human existence. One response takes courage, it takes strength, and it takes a great deal of faith to live in spiritual principle that we teach. The other is living in the energy of doubt, of anxiety, of fear, of lack, and limitation. And let me tell you, where you are living today is either creating the future that you fear or the future that you dream of. Here's an analogy I want to use today. You may wonder why all this wood is up here. Every day we are given kindling. From the presence and power of God, it is the Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom of God. Everything we could ever desire exists within us. And that kindling looks like the thoughts that we are holding. That kindling looks like the feelings that we are holding, the actions that we are taking. And let me tell you, what I notice in the human race is that there's two fires. This one over here says, get yours. It's not going to be here tomorrow. And this one says, I have faith that God is my source. This one is in spiritual principle. This one is in human limitation. Life depends on me getting mine. That one over there says, God's got this. God doing business as me has got this. God doing business as us has got this. And I want to ask you the question today, which fire are you tending? When you notice watching the news, when you notice unrest, when you're in a family situation that feels tense, which fire are you giving your kindling to? Your attention, your focus, your mindset is either feeding a future you are afraid of or feeding a future not only for yourself but for the human race. That's how powerful you are. And here's the most beautiful thing. Every single day you're handed another set of kindling. No matter where you put your kindling, each day you're given another set of thoughts, another opportunity through the grace of God to have all the kindling you want and put it where you decide. I'm saying that if we have got to talk about it because it's up in the field, it needs to go into God. The kindling that you have been given, your thoughts need to focus on truth, spiritual principle, because let me tell you, folks, spiritual principle does not change when the world changes. There may be a huge shift happening out here, but absolute energies and laws do not change based on what's out here, or you've given all your power away. God is our source, not any person, not any job, not any official, not any government, not any country, not any person on this world has any of the power unless you give it to them. And when you give that power away, you're picking it up from here and you're saying, I better get mine and put it over here, because fear is more powerful than the God I believe in. How small is your God? How small is the God that you believe in? You've checked out of spiritual truth. And I'm saying, quit looking like a bird at a feeder, scared to death of what's going to happen tomorrow. Change is in the air. And I would love to tell you I know it's going to happen tomorrow, but I don't. But as a mystic, we are all called to be mystics who live in the mystery. And living in the mystery is a great playground of possibility. Could it be that the shift that is happening is an evolutionary process for a greater expansiveness to happen for the entire human race? Could it, yes, now we're coming to life over there. Could it be that by simply the thought that I just woke up with this morning goes back into the place of spiritual principle, that nothing and nobody can be against me? That there is not an energy that can be against you, but everything is moving in the direction of the highest good. When you watch the news, the thought that you're holding is adding fuel to one fire or the other. Be careful the thoughts you choose, because they are creating your reality. Let's go to Scripture. St. Paul and Jesus absolutely knew it. In the Newer Testament, let's read the first one from Paul together. If God is for us, who can be against us? Oh, have we given power away to officials? Have we done that? Have we given power away to obnoxious people? Have we given power away to our brother or our sister or our mother or our father or our children who are not behaving the way they're supposed to? Yes, we have. We look like a bird. I'm saying find the peace. Move the kindling from one place to the other to know that nothing can be against you. Second, let's read together. Seek first the kingdom of God, and all things will be added unto you. All things will be added unto you. The heaven that you were seeking will be added, but not after, not before you seek the presence of God, the face of God, the reality of God, the light of God, the Spirit of God, no matter how much anxiety you are feeling. No matter how much your human mind wants to run to the place of fear, I choose to seek first, not second, not third, not last. First, the presence of God. Here I am. I'm in the world, but I'm not of this world. I'm having a human experience, but it will not define me, because what defines me is the spiritual truth, and another log gets put on the fire of possibility for a future that is far better than the world that we are living in right now. Let's look at number 3. Read it together. Who of you, by worrying, can add a single hour to his lifespan? You know, I am the king of worry warts. I was the kid who had ulcers and night terrors in middle school and dealt with that all the way through high school, dealt with that as a young man. And it wasn't until about my 40s I realized I've wasted a lot of time. I've looked like a bird at a feeder in a place of lack. And when I came to the place and somebody woke up within me that I had all the power of the universe placed in my hands, all the kindling of the universe to create a fire that was brighter, that could consume the fear and the anxiety, I found myself. It took me 40 plus years to find myself. I'm saying let's not wait that long. Let's understand that spiritual principle, not just Paul and Jesus, but every spiritual master throughout history, pointed us in the direction of the power that we have to manifest the light of the world that we are, to manifest the light and the fire of goodness that is waiting for us to discover it. But it is up to us individually to discover this. During these uncertain times, it is a field ripe for the harvest. It says in the beginning of the Holy Book, the Holy Bible, in the beginning was the void, the darkness, sometimes interpreted as the chaos. Could it be that we are in an infinite field of possibility, and what feels chaotic, that which feels uncertain, is a great birthing process? I don't know if you've ever been present at a birth, but it's a bit chaotic at times. The delivery room isn't necessarily a place of peace and harmony. It can be, and I've seen chaos in the birthing room with a mother that was completely in the place of peace that gave birth. A mother who said, I'm not defined by anything. I'm in the world. This hurts like crazy. And it's not going the way the doctor said it was supposed to go. But I know who I am. I know what I'm about. Let's tend that fire. There's a birthing process happening in the center of the human race right now. There is a call from the center of the human race, and you're either giving birth to something profound or you're perpetuating the fire of unrest and duality and fear and anxiety. Where are you putting your kindling? You know, I've got a glass of water here. Say I put coffee in here. I've got coffee in my glass, and somebody bumps into me. Somebody hits my elbow, and a little, Diane's freaking out right now, by the way. I spilled a little bit of coffee. Is it that person's fault that they hit me, that I spilled coffee? They bumped my elbow. Is it their fault I spilled coffee? Let me ask you to think about this for a minute. Within your cup is whatever you put in your cup, and you spilled coffee because you put coffee in your cup. The person bumped into you, yes, they were a part of that, but I spilled coffee because I had coffee in my cup. I'm asking you today, what's in your cup? There are a lot of people with anxiety and fear and hatred and 1,000 things that we don't choose. And when life bumps up against us and it gets difficult and it gets anxious and we watch the news and we don't know what's happening, what's in your cup is going to spill out. I'm saying let's have a spiritual bank account in that cup. If you don't want to spill coffee, put something else in there. If you don't want to spill anger and fear and anxiety, for God's sake, put something different in the cup. So when life gets difficult, it's compassion that's pouring out. It's kindness that's pouring out. It's a sense of generosity that's pouring out. So rather than resisting the bumping that we're feeling, pulling in, pulling back, fighting, running, acting like a bird at a feeder and losing all of it, go ahead and go with the flow and pour a little kindness. I'm not going to do it, Diane, promise. Pour a little kindness, pour a little compassion, because that's who you are. You were created in the image and after the likeness of kindness, in the image and after the likeness of compassion, tenderness, generosity, love, and let me tell you, faith. There's so many people that run to God after they do the bump in. Too late. Faith needs to be in your cup from the minute you get up in the morning. No matter what happens, I know who I am. No matter what's happening in this world, I know who I am, and I know where my attention is going. I know where my thoughts are going. And here's a good thing. You put a little water, purity, clarity, the fire that's burning over here, the rest of the world wants to tend, you can put it out. And I'm saying this world needs us now more than ever to put out the fire of anxiety and fear and trepidation that's pushing us farther and farther apart from each other, and let's tend that other fire. So the question of the day is, where are you putting your fuel? What's in your cup? We'll ask you at the offering, what's in your wallet? I asked Tama Keeves. Tama Keeves is a genius speaker and author in the realm of thriving through uncertainty. It's the name of her book. She's going to be here on November 17th. And this is my personal challenge, to not take that day off from church. Sometimes when I'm not speaking, some of you go away. I asked her to come. We have hired her to come because she's exactly the voice that we need today. November 17th, Tama Keeves is going to be here talking about that book. Don't be lazy. Take the challenge of your minister to say, this is exactly the dialogue that we need. I'm going to take a few quotes from Tama's book to introduce her to you, because she is a powerhouse speaker, and I'm expecting a full house that day, so come early. I want to take a few of the songs, a few of the quotes from her book as the context for the rest of the message today. Here's quote number 1. Let's read it together. I am working on accepting myself where I am. It's okay to be someone who is at times on fire in her life, and someone who is frightened, paralyzed, and feels broken. In the end, if the gurus and philosophers are right, I'm sure I'm not of it. Let me tell you, we're not about putting on blinders and pretending that we're not having a human experience. That doesn't serve anything. Oh, it's not hot, we're not in hell. The human race is divided right now. Our country is divided right now. And let me tell you, if we don't pay attention, this church will be divided as it was 2 years ago. I'm not playing that anymore. But go ahead and feel the anxiety. Feel the frustration. It's okay. Could it be that the anxiety and the fear and the trepidation is there to teach you something? I hope so. If everything is one, if God, there is one power, one presence, one light and life in this world expressed as everything that's there for a divine idea. Don't push it away. Don't fight it, but embrace it and go, what is it to teach me? Feel it. And so my challenge today is to feel the fear and do it anyway. What is it? Fill in the blank. Feel the fear and do it anyway. What is it for you? Let me hear it. Come on. What is it? Love anyway. Feel the fear and love anyway. What else? Compassion. Feel the fear and be compassionate anyway. Oh no, feel the fear and just let fear dominate. Tama Keeves, just like Jesus, is saying, go ahead and feel it, but let it be at 49% of the energy. Because otherwise, it's putting fuel over here. Put fuel where it belongs, in my faith. Feel the fear and be generous anyway. And let me tell you, this talk came up because I'm seeing and feeling a pullback, a pull in, much like the bird feeder in this community. There's uncertain times before us. And let me tell you, what you need now more than ever is to be a part of a community, to be a part of a conscious dialogue, a conscious community that says, this does not define us. We belong to each other, and we're here to lean into each other and to remind each other of the truth. So resist the human ego's need to pull back. Yes, let's come together and talk. I'm feeling scared. I got a call from a member of this congregation recently, and it had to do with race. Another person of color was shot at the hand of a police officer. That is a symbol that this fire is running the country, running the nation, running our hearts. And what we did when we sat down, we talked on the phone together, I said, let's resist the urge to run to throwing fuel here. And let's remember, I've got you, you've got me, we're in this together. And let God have a higher way. But it's there. She felt it, and she felt it at depth. I can deny that. What good does that do? I can tell her, oh, it's going to be okay, or we can feel the fear and then be compassionate anyway. Because the compassion will go translate into action, and then action will make change, and then change will put us all at the bird feeder looking a heck of a lot more relaxed instead of dropping the food for the squirrels, the people that are hungry to take your fear and feed upon it. We need to move to a higher reality. Let's go ahead and go to the next quote. We have to resist the need to be drama queens, plain and simple. The human ego wants, loves, and thrives on being a drama queen. Let's read this quote together. A sloppy mind is no way to create a happy life. If I'm lost in a burning house, I don't want to be a bellowing, scattered drama queen like my fearful mind leading the way. Come on, let's get honest. How many people have a drama queen between your ears? I know I'm not the only one. It exists there. And we have to be conscious. The more conscious we are, the more the drama queen does not define our human existence. And you can go around being unconscious. There are a lot of unconscious New Thought people that are all about puppy dogs and rainbows. Feel it, feel the fear. I'm making a different choice. I'm counteracting the fire of the drama queens between my ears, the drama queens in my environment, and I'm making a different choice. My energy goes to something more profound, something more beautiful. You know, Unity of Birmingham called me. They're in a very difficult place right now, much like we were about 7-8 years ago. And they wanted to pick my brain. And a first question out of the mouth of the board of directors: what did you do to save your church? In 30 seconds or less. And I reflected back on the moment when we were on our knees, when this fire was absolutely roaring, roaring, roaring. And we put up signs everywhere in this church, very intentionally. A no drama zone. We don't play that game anymore. We don't play the game of we need a villain, and we need a hero, and we need a victim. That doesn't work. That's what a drama queen will do. Will begin to separate people as good people and bad people. And every square inch of this building had a no drama sign up here. And you heard me say it, and I got a lot of people made fun of me, especially my African American community said, oh my gosh, the white guy's saying it again. Homie, don't play this. I'm a nerd. I'm going to say it. Homie, don't play this. And we lost more people because we said, no, we won't play in that pile, that bucket of you know what. It's one thing to notice you got a bucket of, it's another to put your head in it, pull your head out of it, and build a different fire. And if there was one thing that pulled this church to a more prosperous place, a more healthy place, a more loving place, it was the refusal to be drama queens. As you're watching, go ahead and clap. If you're feeling the unrest, if you are feeling the uncomfortableness about what's going to happen tomorrow for your family, your church, your government, your world, the human race, pull your head out of the bucket and think a different way. Pull your head out of the bucket and refuse to let drama drive the boat. Put it to the side. You know, I was talking to Peter Breeze. Peter's here somewhere. There he is. He's in a men's group with me, and the guy always says the most profound things. And he was sharing a story of a training 20 years ago. And I said, you know what? What I see, the way the human race looks like the birds at the feeder, there are a bunch of people that are acting like this. So I'm a guy, and I'm on my way to work. And I'm hitting every red light on the way to work, and I'm getting more and more and more frustrated. Oh, you got somebody who does the same thing? And so I'm hitting red lights, and I begin to play the neener machine in my head, and I go, oh my gosh, if I hit another red light, I'm going to be late for my client. And my client's going to know I'm not a person of integrity, all because of a red light, and they're going to go somewhere else and go to a different business. This is terrible. This is awful. But you know, if I lose that client, I'm sure my boss is going to fire me. I'm going to get fired. A red light is, I'm going to get fired. And if I get fired, I'm not going to have any money. There's going to be no money at all. I won't be able to feed my children. My kids are going to die. My children are going to die. And if my kids die, they're going to put me in jail. And when I go to jail, I'm going to starve. And I'm going to die from sadness and loneliness, all because of a red light. That's what's going on in the world today. And with every thought, that's what we're doing. Be the great balancer. Be the great person that says, no, it stops here. I don't play that game anymore. You can throw that bucket on me if you want, but I will not fight you. Follow the master teacher, Jesus. You have no power. Any power you have comes from above, and I don't give it to you. There's a greater reality coming. And let me tell you, drop by drop, thought by thought, seed by seed, experience by experience, something more beautiful starts to burn. I'm saying, don't wait around for somebody to tend the fire. Tend it yourself. Quit making somebody else responsible for the world and the human race. Take full and complete responsibility. That's next week's talks about responsibility. Let's go to the next quote. Together, the creative force of change that is impairing my current life is also guiding my expansion. Could it be that what's happening right now on the face of the planet is a great evolutionary process where something is about to break loose, where old ideas are about to be released, but we have to look at them. There's a thing in unity called chemicalization. That which does not belong in the field, that which does not belong in the cup, needs to be released. It needs to be gotten rid of. You think she's worried now. She thinks it's water. It's actually vodka. The reality is, what's happening right now is for us. If God is for us, nothing can be against us. No fear, no trepidation, no anxiety, no doubt, no anything can stop you from becoming who you are supposed to be, who you truly are, and who we are supposed to be. Could it be that this expansiveness is something we can embrace? Here we are. It feels like hell. But boy, on the other side of this, is it going to feel good if we can stand in the fire and be purified? Let me stand in this fire and be the living presence of Christ, as opposed to waiting for somebody to come around and to be the Christ for us. What if that was exactly what was going on? You know, the loudest voice in the room is never the most powerful voice in the room, even here at Unity North. There's a still small voice. You heard it in the beautiful song that Danielle sang, the voice of love. And Will Hodge has helped write that song. He had another song that he wrote called Listen for the Love. What's in your cup when the world starts to bang up against you and you feel tense and you feel anxiety and you start to look at the mirror and you look like a bird at the feeder? Stop listening to the loudest voices in the room and listen to the voice that is in this room. I've got this. I'm okay. And then drink often. Drink deeply and drink often from that place. Breathe that in for a second. And here's the thing that was brought up at the first service. Some people say it's half full. Some people say it's half empty. Here's what I know. This glass is refillable. And every decision and every choice and every action you take is filling that glass. Be mindful. What are you filling it with? Because it's a bumpy ride, this earthly existence. And on that bumpy ride, what do you want to be spilling out? Let it be what is holy. Let it be what is good and sacred and wonderful. And that means stop listening to the loudest voices in the room, to the anxious voices in the room. Next quote. Let's read this together. Never take advice from unhappy or angry people. Oh, you're feeling that. Did you feel the murmur? The loudest voices in the room are usually the angriest people. Stop listening to them. Every time you give your ears, you give them access to your ears, you're diminishing from what can be and giving all your power to what is. Listen to the still small voice and separate yourself from the angry people. When we made the decision here at Unity North, a no drama zone, a lot of angry people left. A lot of dramatic people left. For a rose bush to be healthy, it has to be trimmed. I want a healthy rose bush. And I don't want any fuel that's being thrown into this fire. Angry people will put fire, tinder, kindling here. Kind people will put it over there. Unhappy people will find a way to find happy, to turn the other cheek, to look a different way, to have the eyes of God that beholds the face of God everywhere and allows something greater to be born. Listen for the love in those people. Listen for the love. St. Paul said, whatever is good and holy and beautiful and sacred and just and magnificent, listen to that voice. Don't rent out your head, your ears, your eyes, or your mind to toxic energy. This is all that matters. And that takes a great deal of faith, doesn't it? It takes a great deal of discipline. Next quote, please. Together. It takes courage and discipline to turn your face to the sun. Getting happy is an act of revolution. I'm saying that the human race is calling for a revolution right now. What is the etymology of the word revolution? It means simply to circle around a new idea. That's it. Circle around a different idea, a new paradigm. One that does not resemble the birds at the feeder. One that fills the cup with what you want to experience and turns the attention away from the dramatics of what you don't want to experience. We are at the precipice of a huge paradigm shift in this nation, of a huge paradigm shift in this church, and a huge paradigm shift at the center of who we are as individuals and as a human race. I'm calling for a revolution of consciousness, a revolution of focus, a revolution of intention. Demonstrate what it means to be the Christ. Demonstrate what it means to be the conduit for change. Demonstrate what it means to be a great alchemist, that no matter what buckets you happen to be throwing at me or being thrown anywhere in the world, I will not give my attention to those buckets, but to the presence of God that's right there in the middle. There's a story I like to tell at the new member class. Two little boys get up on Christmas morning. They're so excited about what Santa brought them, and they walk into the living room, and there's a pile of manure sitting. A lot of buckets have been emptied into the living room. And the first boy says, "This sucks. This is the worst Christmas ever." The second boy says, "Wow, there's got to be a pony around here somewhere." I'm saying it's time to start looking for the pony because it's tearing us apart. It's tearing us apart that we have lived in duality and said that that's acceptable. I'm calling for a revolution, no more. Last statement. Let's read this together. If you haven't gotten there, it's because there's something for you here.
You're not missing out
There's some.
on anything in life unless you're missing out on this moment.
Breathe that in for a second. The first service looked at that statement and they went like this. They looked like birds at a feeder. I want you to really breathe that one in. Everybody is waiting for heaven on earth, some predestined, determined time when we get to live with paved streets of gold and angels and harps and everybody singing and dancing. That's an Orthodox religious belief of some predetermined time. And it's a new thought belief that it will happen when. I'll be happy when. I'll be fulfilled when. I'll be peaceful when you are peaceful. Oh, wait a minute. What'd you say? I'll be peaceful when you're peaceful. I know this is getting tiresome, but let me tell you, this is what we're doing. I'll be peaceful when you show up the way you're supposed to show up. I'll be peaceful when that official shows up the way they're supposed to show up. Or I get to be the angel. I get to be here now. I'm having a human experience, and I won't be defined by it. I'm having a human reaction. And I resist the urge to say it's all because we have a red light that the world is going into a bucket of you-know-what. The choice is yours. Make the appropriate choice. But my question is to ask you, and it's going to be asked in our small groups, what's in your cup? Drink deeply and often from the cup, not the bucket. Bury your head in the cup of who you are, who you truly are, and not the bucket that anybody else is feeding up. I want you to hear that. There is not better than here. Here we are. You're called to be the change now. You're not in that form, in this place, in this world, in this country, in this state, in this church, by accident. Don't waste it. But to pick up all your toys, pick up all your thoughts, pick up everything that you are and say, we're going someplace, baby, and we're going someplace good. So here I am, building a fire. One final quote before we go into meditation is from Dan Millman. There is no better than here. If you're waiting for there to show up, forget it. Your spiritual path is founded upon sand. There is no better than here, and when your there has become a here, you will simply obtain another there that again looks better than here. You're pushing God, you're pushing kindness, you're pushing love, you're pushing heaven at bay, and you're never going to get there. I'm saying be it now. The gift is ours to give now. The gift is ours to receive now. Let that fire burn in you so passionately that everybody else around you cannot help but be engaged in that fire. Let your fire be so profoundly beautiful and warm and strong that any fire over here is simply consumed by that. So it becomes one again. We'll draw circles and bring those people over, and they can leave their buckets where they will, in the illusion of the nothingness from whence they were born and where they came from. We are on the edge of a world that is changing. And I'll be honest, I have a lot of anxiety. I have a lot of concern and worry. That means I need to be more conscious today than I have ever been. When my feet hit the floor in the morning, what fuel am I adding to what fire? And what am I putting in my cup? And then maybe when things don't go right in my day, one last time, Diane, maybe the world's a little bit kinder as a result of who I know myself to be. Drink deeply and drink often from that cup. Let's take a time to breathe and go into meditation.
Amen. Thank you. That was a wonderful talk. So I invite you as we do go into meditation to let that still small voice that is God take you to a place. I invite you to close your eyes, take in the song, or join me in song, for God is here. God is here, God is now, God is all. God is the life within my heart. So I see and I feel and I know all is perfect and right in my world. God is here, God is now, God is all.
I invite you to sit tall and well at this time. Gently ground your feet into the floor and let your head stretch up to the heavens, extending the spine, making the body more receptive to the energy of meditation. Aware of the body, aware that you can move this glorious body, but that you're making a choice to hold your body in stillness and surrender. Then gently directing your attention to your breath. Bringing the breath into the forefront of your consciousness. Taking nice, long, deep, deliberate breaths. Savoring the now of each passing breath. As you breathe and settle a little more deeply into your seat, begin to visualize a fire in the space between the eyebrows. Gazing inwardly with your mind's eye to the space between the eyebrows. Visualize a fire burning brightly. It doesn't matter if the image is bright and crisp or if it's a little mottled. You cannot do this wrong. Now, as you visualize this fire, begin to notice in the periphery the tone of your thoughts. Are you resisting the exercise, thinking, I can't do this? Or are you enjoying the cascade of your mind? Notice if it's joy, enjoying the moment of sitting, breathing, being still, or resistance, waiting to do something other than this. Is it peace or annoyance? Place onto the pyre that which does not serve you. Place resisting the exercise. Place anger, judgment, not just for others, but of yourself. Place the idea that I know what will happen next. We've never known. Place the idea I am in control of the outside world. We're not. Let the fire burn brightly. And let the dross, the waste, burn away from the gold that's in the center, under the embers. Let this liquid, perfect, pure gold drop down into your heart. All of your awareness in the heart, warmed with pure love. For the next few moments of silence, just allow yourself to be warmed from the inside, from the love that is already there. Remain in this space, the abode of pure love. Remain aware of the silence, which is one and the same with love at the center of consciousness. Remain aware of that pure love as you reflect on the relative quietness of the mind, freedom from the opposition of thought. Be aware of the smoothness of the breath and the stillness of your body. Bring back love as you gently open your eyes.
God is here. God is now. God is all. God is the life within your heart. So let us be ambassador of seeing, feeling, and knowing that all is perfect, all is right in our world. Feel what you need to feel, and then do it anyway. Thank you, April. Appreciate it. Right now, I'm going to invite you to ask you what's in your wallet. You know, we have been noticing at the staff level that there has been, I like to call it out if it's in the field, a pulling back and a pulling within. And it has shown up in our offering basket. On behalf of our finance committee, I want you to take the words that we have spoken today to heart. And to know that this is not a time to pull back or to pull in, but to demonstrate the fire that you are that says, I'm going to go a little farther. And I don't ask you to give it to this church because you think we need it, because that creates a needy environment. But I'm asking you to give today a little bit extra as a demonstration that you heard the words today to be the living expression of Christ. God takes care of the lilies, the birds, the fields. God will take care of you. Demonstrate that by putting some extra fuel in this fire today. Because let me tell you, the last 3 weeks it has been lower than it has been in 7 years. Something's happening. Let's answer the call and let's be the change we want to see. Right now, you don't know how grateful we are for every penny that we get, for all the prosperity that comes into, all the fuel that comes into this place that allows us to do the great work that we do. Take that representation, place it upon your heart. Those who don't have cash or a check you can give through text, put your phone on your heart. Those of you on consistent giving program, thank you. Hold that against your heart and to know that every bit of it is valuable to this community, and we're very grateful. Let us take our affirmation blessing with one powerful voice as we say together, I am so blessed, I am so prosperous, and it is my great pleasure to share of my prosperity and to share of my blessings. And in the giving, the entire world is blessed. Thank you, God. Amen.
And as the baskets come around, we give from the bottom of our heart because it is full, it is overflowing. We give so with that love through our song, I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. And we are blessed to have another tune from Danielle Wright. This one's a fun one. And when you see the title, you're going to say, huh? See that? I picked that for you. That's,
Oh,
yeah.
I like it.
It's called the Breakup Song, but you'll be surprised who she's breaking up with. So please welcome Danielle Wright. It might be fear.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired. Had as much of you as I can take. I'm so done, so over being afraid. I've gone through the motions, I've been back and forth. I know that you're thinking you've heard this before. I don't know how to say it, so I'm just gonna say it. Fear you don't own me. There ain't no room in this story. And I ain't got time for you telling me what I'm not like you know me. Well, guess what? I know who I am. I know I'm strong. And I am free. I got my own identity. So fear you will never be welcome here. Take a minute, let it settle in. You probably never saw it coming. Something's gotta give, so I give up you. There's no room for you here, yeah, I've had enough. The no vacancy sign on my heart has lit up. In case you didn't hear it, here it is again. I said, fear you don't own me. There ain't no room in this story. And I ain't got time for you telling me what I'm not like you know me. Well, guess what? I know who I am. I know I'm strong. And I am free, got my own identity. So fear you will never be welcome here. Is there anybody out there just like me? Anybody who needs fear to leave? If you don't know how to say it, sing along with me. Sing, fear you don't own me. There ain't no room in this story. And I ain't got time for you telling me what I'm not like you know me. Well, guess what? I know who I am. I know I'm strong, brave, and I am free. I got my own identity. So fear you will never be welcome here. No, no fear, only love is welcome here.
I love that song. Fantastic. All right, you get a chance now to say to fear goodbye. No, you're not welcome here. Join hands. We're going to sing a song written by Mark Welch. I feel the fear and do it anyway. Sing it like you've never sung before. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you ever come back no more, no more, no more, no more.
Feel like you mean it. I feel the fear and do it anyway.
I feel the fear and do
We got a different groove.
I feel the fear and do it anyway. I feel the fear and do it anyway.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now. Right here,
courageous light of the world that we know you to be. Thanks so much for being here this morning.